Welcome to Officially Unofficial Ask the Witch episode, one of my absolute favorites to produce during Halloween. We are super thrilled to bring back our favorite witch by popular demand. We will be talking about all things witchy, so make sure that if you have any questions or comments, you write them in the comment section and we will get to it. But before the fun begins, for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Ana Gil, and I am the host and producer of Officially Unofficial TV. I am also a pretty awesome headshots photographer. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to my guest. She is our favorite 315 witch and has been featured in the Post Standard, the Daily Orange, The Good Life CNY, Syracuse.com, and of course, Officially Unofficial. Without further ado, Juelz.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back.
Yay. It's only been a year.
Right, how are you? Right, favorite time of the year. And this is the time also that I get to wear this shirt. Like, I get to wear this shirt only in the month of Halloween.
I'd be wearing it all year.
Yes, yes, you would. But Julie, let's give our viewers, for those that are new and didn't experience the amazing part 1 of this episode last year, let's give them a brief biography of who Juelz is.
So I have my own little shop in Kirkville. I sell witchcraft supplies, but my biggest favorite thing that I do is our nonprofit organization. It is a local organization, all for witches, and we're all about teaching people for free and really getting the community together and helping everybody grow. So it's a really cool mission, and we love it. It's great. And we actually have our inaugural Witches Ball on Saturday. So you have definitely caught me in a very, very busy week.
And I am so thankful that you made time to be here with us and talking about it.
I love it.
So let's talk about your organization, because that is great to have because I mean, I know that it has come a long way, just like everything else that we have. For example, we're Latinos, we're minorities, we're women, we're witches and all these things. So support for the minority, right, is really great. So your organization supports all witches, right? And it's free?
Yes. It is. Anyone can join and be a member, even just to see if witchcraft is something that they're into. And we're not specifically one religion or anything like that. We're not Wiccan. We're not, there's many different religions under the witchcraft umbrella, but
okay,
we embrace all of them. We even have Christian witches, Jewish witches, so it's not just for people that aren't in Catholicism type, the top 4 religions.
That is interesting to me because movies just portray some certain things, right? But looking at it and hearing you saying that how all religions are accepted, where back in the days, from what I gather, the Christianity and still now, right? We're just like, oh no, witches are not good. This is a religion that if you are a witch, you are with the other guy, the dark side, and all of this stuff, right? So it's good to hear that all religions are welcome in your organization.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is. And that's something that we pride ourselves on. And I think it really gives us a different spin on things. I haven't really seen anything done like this really ever, honestly. A nonprofit organization it's all donation based. So we're providing everything for all of our witchy celebrations. So we do celebrate the Wheel of the Year, but we throw all this with the donation money that we receive, and we do fundraisers and stuff too. So it's not all just people just handing over money. It's actually, we sell things, we do lots of fundraisers and cool stuff, but it really helps a lot of people, and that's really where it's at for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's great just knowing that you're not alone, right? Knowing that that's great. That's great. So okay, so and what about that ball that you mentioned? I know you do this, and I was like, and you get so excited about it. And how is it? And this year is the 1920s. Is that what it is?
Yes. So the theme for the ball is 1920s spiritualist movement. So in the 1920s, there was a huge boom of tarot readers, vampire movies, witch movies, all that kind of stuff. And it was very gaudy. I think the best way to coin it is gaudy spiritism, I guess.
Okay.
But you only have to follow the theme if you want to be in the costume contest, which is part of the fun of the evening. But it's at the Landmark Theater in downtown Syracuse. And if you're from Central New York, it is the most beautiful. The building was actually made in the 1920s, so it's like so on point this year. But it's all gold and just such a beautiful, beautiful place. We'll have to put a link in the comments after this. But
yes, for sure. For sure. So everyone is going to be dressed up as the 1920s. So and the building is already dressed up for it. So it's going to be such a great vibe.
And it's haunted. The Landmark Theater is haunted, so it's even better. And then we are actually doing a real ritual. And this is the first time we've ever really kind of opened it up to the public. Mm-hmm. We do go live for our rituals every celebration we do, just so people can see what we're all about. But this time it's not just for witches at this event. We're letting the whole public in on this. So it's
that's great.
Definitely unique. And there's at least 13 plus witches that are going to be involved in this ritual. So it's going to be huge. huge.
That is awesome. Wait, so do you say you're going to broadcast it live?
The ritual, yes, we will be doing a live feed for that.
Oh, that's so great. Okay. That's so great. I love when you do your moon rituals with, by the way, we have so many questions about it that came in, Jules. So just be ready for that. And you guys, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions or a shout out for Jules, make sure to write them in the comments so she knows that you're here. And also any questions, please write them there too, and we will get to them. But okay, so let's back it up. What I want to mention two things. First, your eyes look amazing. I'm gonna put you on the big screen so that you can show your. I love it.
They are contacts. They're beautiful. I wear them everywhere. It's
I
not just for
love it.
Halloween, it's all the time.
Yes, and they look so big. I love it.
I love it.
And then the second thing, I have heard that the landmark was haunted. So do you, when you're all there, do you do some rituals based on that specific part of the landmark theater that gets more activity, or how is that?
Well, we do. What we're going to be basing our ritual on is just the dead. So they are very much a part of the ritual as well. Any spirits that are in the landmark can definitely make themselves present during this event. So the whole ritual is basically honoring our ancestors, anyone that's gone before us, and also all of the dead. So it's inviting those spirits to join us while we party.
Oh man, that is so great. That is great and creepy at the same time, because for example, for me, right, I will freak out at the thought of I would not know what to do, right? If I see something that is not from this world, right? However, for you, it's so normal. It's like, okay, come over, just sit down here, just
Yes, because a lot of people, they think all spirits just are scary and evil, but they're not. They're not. There's a lot of spirits that are there to help us be guided through life. There's spirits that are just observers. There's just different levels of spirits.
Okay, so the ones at the Landmark Theater are good, pretty good for.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've heard that they're jokesters, if anything. So who knows? Maybe they'll pull some parlor tricks for us. Let's hope.
That would be so great to see like something happen. Anyway, you guys, okay, so yes. I have some. Stand it. That's great. I have some of my people with me. Hi, Paul. It's so awesome to see you here. Aubrey, hello. It's great to see you here also. And of course, Mr. Fulgens, hello, Mr. Okay, so again, if you guys have any questions about it, as we go through, we're going to go through some questions that we got ahead of time. But if you have any question of your own as we go through, please feel free to write it in the comments. Now, Jules, are you ready for the first question?
I am.
Let's start with, what does Halloween mean to witches?
So Halloween is definitely about honoring your ancestors. That is the biggest takeaway that we do for Halloween. There is something it's called a dumb supper, but it's just really a silent supper that you sit and you eat with your ancestors. There's a whole ritual that goes along with it, but it's all about honoring your ancestors and really making sure they're not forgotten.
Okay, so is it similar to the
dead sort of thing.
Okay, the Day of the Dead. Okay, so that is great. So how does that work? Okay, so make sure that they're not forgotten. Let's elaborate on that. So is it something that they feel, and that's why then it opens up for them to come through, or is it something that for us here on Earth to honor them with our families and?
Well, it's actually both. You're inviting their spirits to join you. So you are, the veil is the thinnest at Halloween. So that's when it's easiest to communicate with the spirit realm. So that is why we do what we do on Halloween.
Got it. That was another question. That was another question that I had. Is there truly a veil that opens up on Halloween? So it is
Yes,
true.
it definitely thins. And there's actually the polar opposite of that is Beltane, which is in May 1st, and April 31st. The veil is also thin at that point. It's like the polar opposite of the year. So it's, and you can always communicate with spirit whenever you want. You can always honor them whenever you want. That's not just for that night, but it's the easiest, you know, to communicate with them.
So how is the veil though? Like how is that? Is it something that happens at a specific time, or is it just the entire 31st? October 31st.
Well, and the surrounding days, and it thins gradually. So, like the whole month of October, you could be doing stuff for your ancestors. You could be even preparing your space and everything for their, especially if you hold like a dumb supper or something like that, or a big ritual on Halloween, then you could definitely build up to that throughout the entire month.
Okay. You guys, this is so interesting. Like I'm like, okay, so my dad passed away. So for me, it's like, okay, is there a way for me to communicate? Because for me, with him, it would be, I will feel safe because
Right.
he's my dad. So it will be like nice to do something, but at the same time, I wouldn't know because,
Right.
how
Right.
how do we
Yeah.
get protected?
Well, to feel protected or to be protected?
To be.
Well, I mean, you can always put your guards up. If you're a witch, you know how to put your little guards up. But even just saying a little prayer of protection for yourself, and, letting your body be aware of what's going to be, communicate with your body. You have to really, it's all an intention in how you're saying things. And so you talk to your body, let it know that to be protected. And also you can call upon your ancestors to say, protect me during this time.
Okay.
There's lots
This
of other
is
stuff you can do for protection, but that's like a whole nother episode, I feel like.
right. And then I was gonna say to you, is this something that you teach on the which is of heathen
Witches and Heathens of
and heathen?
CNY. So yeah, we
Okay.
do teach a lot of different stuff. We usually go live every Sunday and do some random witchcraft topic. It's like our little TV show that we do every week. So it's like, we do try, and anytime anyone has any questions, they know they can go into the Facebook group and just ask the question. So if anyone wants to know how to do some protection, like last week I just did a workshop on protection wards, which are physical things you can make for your home to hang around the house to protect the home. So like there's a lot of different things for that. But yeah.
This is so interesting, Jules. This is so interesting. Okay. So another question. What is your interpretation of dreams? And we were talking about this, and I do feel that they meant about, is our dreams truly a message from ancestors, or is it just our mind winding down from the day?
Well, they do say that when you're in sleeping mode, that is the closest you are to the spiritual realm. So that's the way for your spirit to jump around to different places. So if you are someone that you may not be a witch or whatever, and you have a dream of an ancestor and you remember every single bit of it and it felt like it was real, take it as a message. I would definitely take it as a message, write it down in keep a dream journal, and that I would definitely say is a message for sure.
Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So hopefully that answered your question. Thank you so much for sending it in. And then the other one is, and this is one that I myself would like to know, because I see all of your rituals that you do during the full moon, and it looks so good, and you're dancing, and it's just like in the woods sometimes, and it just looks really fun. Like it's not something that I will go do, but it looks really it looks really, really fun. So what is the significance of doing rituals under a full moon as opposed to a regular moon?
So, as a witch, each moon phase has like a different purpose. Full moons and new moons are my favorites to work with. There's a lot in between, so I just primarily work with those two. But full moons, I use a lot for empowering and filling yourself with something that you're lacking. So whether it's creativity, if you need like a boost for creativity, it's great to do that on a full moon. Empowerment, self-confidence, anything that you feel like can fill some sort of void characteristically that you can put out there.
So we just think about it and just go.
Well, there's of course a lot of different ways that you can go about it. Well,
So give us one, like one thing. Okay, the full moon just happened, right?
mm-hmm.
And by the
Yeah,
way, I heard that the next full moon for Halloween is going to be in what, 20 years?
is
Is
it?
That's what I was reading. I was like, holy cow. So imagine this, right? All the energy that the full moon brings and Halloween, and then the veil thins, like gets thinner during Halloween. And then we have Halloween on a full moon.
Yep.
Listen.
You're right, right. Well, actually, last year on the 30th was a full blue moon. So it was the second full moon in October last year. And that was actually supposed to be our first witches ball, which could have been so cool, but
Right.
nonetheless.
Yeah, that's so great. Okay, so name one thing that we could do when the moon is full and we want to empower creativity. That will be me. I will be all about
Yes,
trying to get creativity. And what about somebody else
definitely.
who wants to get empowered to do something else?
So one of my favorite things, and you can actually use something like this for all intentions, but it's very simple and very basic. You can go outside under the full moon, and if you can't go outside or you think your neighbors might think you're crazy or whatever, find a window that the full moon is coming through, and you would need bells. If you don't have any kind of bell, you can use like some sort of either metal or sturdy glass to kind of make a bell sound. But it's great to build your energy to get that momentum going. But a great chant, kind of, I'm going to freestyle it because usually I just read it out of a book. But it's like you go around with your bells and you're talking to the moon, and it's sort of like a mother of the moon, fill me with creativity. And then you keep shaking your bells and you keep saying it and you keep saying it, and you get louder, you spin faster, like your energies are building and it's feeling amazing, and you're feeling this power of the moon coming into you. And then you sit and you bask in it for a minute, and then you can slowly like calm your voice down right until you're at a whisper, and then you can just soak up the full moon rays. And you can go about that a lot of different ways. Like you can have clothes on, you don't have to have clothes on. You can have incense going to kind of, that's intention filled for whatever intention you're looking to fulfill throughout your working. So yeah, that's my favorite though, but you can use it for any kind of intention.
That sounds good. And it's like, I don't know. There's this. I don't know. I don't even know how to put it, but when people hear the word witch, they right away think obscurity. They think meanness, darkness, bad things. And I'm pretty sure, just like humans, right? We and people of all different religions, we have a good side and we have a not so good side. So there are different peoples from all religions. And I hear this that you just mentioned with the full moon, when you're using nature, because that's nature. We're using nature to energize ourselves instead of
Yes.
something that's artificial, right? So we're using
Yep.
nature for that. And that sounds similar to affirmations, right?
You're right. Yep.
It sounds
Yep.
similar to journaling. Write your intentions and say it out. It's
Yep.
just, you just get
Even goal
inspired.
setting. Yep. Vision boards, law of attraction, all that. Yep. It's a cool
Yeah.
thing. People don't realize it, but they're all witches.
No, for real. Okay, let's talk about teas. Let's talk about herbal medicine, things like that. That's all that witches are categorized by, and we do it. Like
Yep.
I do a lot of teas and.
I mean, even people praying. Praying is the same thing as setting intention. Like they don't, they can keep thinking they're not a witch, but they are. But yeah, tea is a great thing too. That's wonderful. They even sell medicinal tea. Like even at Wegmans, you can get traditional medicinals that has chamomile, lavender, echinacea, all that stuff that we actually use in witchcraft. It's all about, and my brother explains it the best. The difference between, well, he said the magic gets put into it when you're praying over it. So you can have tea, and it's just going to be a mundane regular tea, or you can put your hand over it and put your intention into it, and that's what changes it into the metaphysical realm of things. So I think it's beautiful.
Yes, of course. It does, and it sounds beautiful. And this is something that being open to different experiences brings us different creativities, and it opens up our minds for different things, right? The only thing that I don't want to open my mind to is the spiritual world in the sense
Yeah.
of ghosts. Like I want to keep my
Right.
mind closed. So, but other than that, like making connection with my dad or with my great grandmother, who I trust both of them a lot,
Yeah.
I will love to just do that with just the two of them, like nobody else
Right.
invited. So maybe I'll take one
Right.
of your
Right.
classes.
Yes. 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 Yeah. And in everyday life, I'm sure you're honoring your family in your everyday life. We're thinking about them all the time. We're talking to them every now and again. We know how we are with our parents, and once they're gone, it's extremely hard. And you still talk to them as if they're there. And like with my dad, before he was even gone, honestly, it was 2 months before, and his mom passed away. So we were all sitting around the table, and we said to him, because the dead leave behind signs for you to see. So we were like, well, Dad, yours is rubber bands, because Dad used to hit everybody with rubber bands. So like we agreed that rubber bands were going to be his thing before he was gone. So anytime I find a rubber band, sometimes I find it in pivotal moments of my life where I really need him the most, or when something is about to happen that is extremely important and part of my path and stuff like that. So it's like I see that throughout the year, that's something that anyone can tap into as long as you're open to it. Once you start seeing the signs and accepting them and knowing, yes, this is a sign, they'll start sending them more, because now they're like, okay, she's tapped in now, right? So
Okay.
think about that.
Yeah, so I had an experience, and you guys, please, thank you so much for being here watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them in our comments, and we'll get to them. But speaking of that, right? My dad and I, he was in the Dominican Republic. I was here, so the way we used to communicate was over the phone, right? Over the phone. So when he passed away, I want to say 3 days later for this, it was hard. It was the hardest thing in my entire life. It was just, it was a hard time. And
Absolutely.
he called me on the phone, right? I was sleeping, and he called me on the phone, and I heard his voice, Jules, and you guys, like he was right next to me. And I heard him, he's like, Mija, hello. And I was like, I hung up the phone. I freaked out, hung up the phone. And after I hung up the phone, I woke up and I was like, damn it, why did I hang up the phone? It was so vivid. It was like he was there.
Yeah.
So I was like, please, Poppy, call again. Please, Poppy, call again. He didn't call again for a little while. And then when he called again, the first thing he said to me was, do not hang up the phone. And then I was like, right? then, and then I spoke. And I got it. But it was, I haven't heard from him in a while. So it will be nice to hear how he's doing and things like that. And practicing
Right.
that safely. I would love to learn that for sure.
Right. Well, there's a whole category on Dreamwork. So like you can like there's mugwort is the best thing in wormwood. You could put both of those things in a tea, obviously make sure they're safe for your own body, but it's great for spiritual work and dream work. So it's great to help communicate with spirits, and if your intention while you're drinking this is your dad or whoever, just keep focusing on that person while you're doing these things. You could even burn it as an incense if you don't want to drink it, because it is very bitter. You'd have to mix it with something, but you can burn it as an incense, and it does well too. So, and you can make it like a dream pillow to put under your pillow that has the wormwood in it, and mugwort and stuff. So there's some cool stuff for dream work.
That is that is so interesting. That is so great. Okay, so here's another question that we have. Why do witches use a cauldron?
Okay, so cauldrons, they are great for a lot of different things. So I personally use them. I use them to burn my new moon wishes. So I put all the papers into the cauldron and I light it on fire along with herbs and stuff that are wish intention filled. And then you can also make potions inside of them. Now, not too many. That's more of like an ancient way. I feel like we're trying to really bring that back. But you can. mix a bunch of herbs into your cauldron and put some liquid into it, there's a lot of different liquids you could use. So you can use, depending on your intent, you can use like full moon water. If you make full moon water, you can do just regular spring water. You can do wine, whatever, and make a potion out of it that you wouldn't drink most likely. Well, you can make one to drink too, but you would want to use a specific cauldron for edible things. You'd want to separate. You need different types of cauldrons. So, one of them you might use for poisonous things, that whatever. So you definitely don't want to use that if you are going to ingest anything from that one. Just saying. But there's a lot of different uses for cauldrons. But you can also and you can find them pretty cheap. And you can use different things to act as a cauldron, like pots and pan pots from like the thrift store. You can be cheap and frugal about it. You don't have to get, these Dutch ovens that are really pricey. You could even find some of those at a thrift store or something. But there are, and even just burning incense, just the possibilities are endless with a cauldron.
Okay, so is there to use a cauldron, right? That is specifically a cauldron, and then use a regular pot. Is there like, is it that the cauldron like seeps the potions better, or?
Well, they're cast iron. Usually cauldrons and Dutch ovens are both cast iron. So they're a lot durable. They're not porous. They're not going to hold the ingredients too much, but they're durable to have flames on them, under them, in them, all that. Whereas a pot, it can too. So you can still use that. It all depends on what you have on hand, really.
Okay. This is okay. This is okay. We have a question from Ashley in Manitoba. Oh, hey, Ashley. My daughter has crystals and rocks. What is the best thing to do to neutralize them?
So with all crystals, you have to essentially cleanse them and charge them. So to do that, there's multiple different ways. A lot of people use the full moon. That's another great thing to do. If they're safe in water, you can put them in spring water and maybe a little bit of sea salt, and then put it under the full moon for the evening, and then collect them in the morning. You can also bury them for 24 hours or put them in the sun for 24 hours. It's all about using the elements to charge them. And then the biggest part of that is also putting your intention into the crystal. So you have to hold it in your hand. Usually it's the right hand, and then you put like your left hand out to kind of receive that intention. But you think about what you want your crystal to do. So if you have like an amethyst and you want it to help you stabilize your mood or anxiety, you're thinking about that, and it's all in visualization. When you're putting intentions into things, my favorite thing to do is visualize it happening in my head. And if I'm holding something like a crystal, I am visualizing that thought, that intention going from my head through my arms and into the crystal. And then I can also draw from the earth. If I have my feet on the ground, I can also draw energy from there into my body, but it's all in visualizing and really putting your intention into things.
That is great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ashley, that helps out. That crystals are so great. And you know what? The more you talk about this and the elements and using nature to empower us, nature to heal us, using nature to to calm us down when we need to have that calm energy. It's just, you know what? Okay, you said that witches love the woods, right? So for me, I'm like, I'm not a witch because I like walking through the woods, but I will not be caught like you being in the woods at night, right? I will not be at the cemetery at night, but I do like nature. So it's just beautiful, everything, and how you're representing your group, and you're representing yourself in the community. I absolutely love it. You're doing great. You're doing so amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm trying.
You're doing great. Okay, so speaking of the community, right? We have a question about Oakwood Cemetery.
Yes.
What they want to know, what goes on there.
Oh my gosh, so much goes on there. So this cemetery, it's on Comstock Avenue. It is 162 acres. Okay, that is huge. It's huge. You can't get through it in one day. But my favorite part is the old section. So it has the abandoned, well, it's not abandoned. Sorry, scratch that. They're trying to bring it back. The chapel. They have the Oakwood Chapel. And then they have the admins building, which is cool looking. And you can actually see the old entrance for Oakwood from 81, which, like, if you're local, the whole 81 debacle, like, there was some stuff going down with that in Oakwood, and we can't lose that entrance because it's history. It's beautiful. But anyway, but they do like ghost tours. They do all sorts of different tours, not just ghost tours, so you don't have to be caught in the cemetery at night. But they do have maps too. Like if you're in the old section, they do have a map that actually plots out all the trails for you. And if you go to the chapel, there's usually flyers and there's a map there. But it tells you the different kind of trails they have, whether it's like veterans type trails or what, abolitionist trails. Like there's all sorts of different cool stuff in there. And then they also ESF, I think it's called, is like the environmental school type thing near there. They help out Oakwood a lot as far as all of the maintenance of Oakwood. It's really cool. And actually, Witches and Heathens, our nonprofit, we work with Oakwood because I feel like Witches and Cemetery is like, it's a great mix. So we have an Adopt a Cemetery program, and Oakwood is one of our choices. So we try and do volunteer work for them. The biggest one we've done was we did a lot of raking. We all went one day and just did a bunch of raking that they needed done. Whatever they need done, we're there for them. And actually, one of the people on their nonprofit board is a part of our group. So it's awesome. It's just a really cool thing. And the nonprofit, there's a nonprofit group. It's HOPCA, HOPCA. It's like the historical part of Oakwood, but it's a nonprofit. They're the ones that really maintain the cemetery and try to raise the funds to bring back the chapel. They actually just put like 15 grand into the roof at the chapel. Wow. But it's such an amazing place with all the different cool monuments there. There's the big lion, the Haggerty lion. If you're familiar, if anyone watching is familiar, you're going to have to go. Everyone's going to have to go. Because it's such a beautiful place. And actually, another one of our group members, he hosts some of the ghost walks that they do there. So he has a lot of knowledge on the paranormal side of things. So it's really such a cool. I could ramble about Oakwood because it's just.
I hear your. I mean, like your voice, your pitch just got really nice and have your face lit up and all that. I'm like, look at this.
It's so peaceful. Just people go for walks there all the time. It's a great place for like SU students to walk through, to cut through, to get places faster. Like it's huge, and people do use it a lot for walking their animals. You see a lot of deer in there. It's such a beautiful place. Beautiful place.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like I don't think I will take the offer on the walkthrough, tour. But
do it daytime. Daytime's fine. You have to at least see the Haggerty lion. I'll send you a picture. I'll put a picture on the comments.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it for you. So what is it like? What do ghosts really look like?
I feel like they look different to everyone that sees ghosts, because a lot of people just see an apparition. You hear it all the time on those ghost hunting videos, just like a figure of sorts that isn't really describable. You can't really see too much of a face, whatever. Or some people, they'll see the people. Some people can see more than just an apparition, or some people just have a feeling that they're there. Some people sense the dead being around, and it all just depends on your talents. Not everyone can see ghosts. That's a witch for sure. I haven't seen too many. There one in particular that my brother and I saw. It was kind of ridiculous. It was kind of ridiculous. It was just a head, and it came rushing up to us, and we were the only two that saw it out of a group of like 5 or 6 people. But it was literally right in front of my brother's face. I saw it, and I tried to run out of the room, and my brother grabbed my hand. He was like, "You're not leaving."
I mean, imagine you guys you grew up in a household where witchcraft was very acceptable, right?
Yes.
Right. So imagine you guys, right, where this is normal, And you ran away? I would
Listen,
die.
it was a floating head.
I will die. I don't care if it's a floating head. I'm nothing, just a little something. I would die.
I was terrified. I tried to run.
That's so weird. That was ridiculous. Like, what was the purpose of a head?
Right. Well, see, the thing was, Jeff, my brother, he saw what he thought was a figure by the steps, and he didn't know whatever. And then we kept, trying to coax it out, whatever. And then my brother-in-law, Alan, he like flicked a lighter. And as he flicked the lighter, that's when we saw it, because it was completely dark otherwise. We had no lights on. We were ghost hunting. That's what we were doing.
Oh.
And then, yeah. Yeah. So when he flicked that lighter, we saw that face rush up to Jeff. And I couldn't even see the flame of the lighter because that thing was in the way. So like, I knew I saw what I saw. And so did he. Like, we both saw the same thing, and it looked kind of not happy when it rushed up.
I mean, like, so, a headless ghost, I would say, is not happy.
No.
Where's the rest of the body? That's probably where he was there trying to find the body.
Right. Oh my God.
I can't. Okay, I'm just saying, go on.
Yes. Yeah, we were scared. It was fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is the answer about Oakwood Cemetery. If you guys want to go check it out, Juelz loves it. As from you guys heard and saw her face light up talking about it. So our next question we have is, are love potions real?
So yes, you can of course make some. You could even make like a tea or a drink that would be for a love purpose. Now, I'm not a big fan of love magic. I like love drawing magic, which would be just finding the love that's right for you, as opposed to like a target that you think is right for you. Because we all know what we think is right for us is absolutely not.
Amen, sister. Amen.
Yeah. So, everyone could do whatever they got to do in life, but yeah, there are love potions.
So, okay, knowing that in general, people cannot be forced to do what they don't want to do. They cannot be forced to feel something that they don't naturally feel, right? So, unless they want to. So say you force this potion, gives a drink, going back to movies, right? And when you just mentioned about if you want to open up your mind, you can drink a tea and then for the dream, right, to come through and communicate with your ancestors. So I'm thinking about, it might be the same thing. You drink something or you give that person something to drink, and then you set your intention because their body or their senses are down more and you can hit their subconscious. I mean, I'm trying to make sense of this, right? But right. If they don't feel that way, eventually isn't that going to just come out and the person is going to leave?
In my personal opinion, I do feel that. I do feel like if it's not really truly meant to be, I mean, lessons are going to be learned in that relationship. Mm-hmm. Like things are probably not going to be the best, and I'm sure other people believe different, and that's fine, but in my personal practice, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I would second that, because I mean, nobody could be, for a little bit, right? You're going to have that person, but aren't we going to be feeling a little weird knowing that we actually forced that? It's like
some people, yeah, but some people don't care. Not everyone's a good person, so you got to think about that too. And some people don't like having no for an answer, whatever, but.
And then they go do love potions. I don't know.
Be careful who you take drinks from.
In all senses, for real. Like, you never know.
Straight up. Yeah, very true.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we are almost oh my gosh, we're almost done, you guys. Officially Unofficial premieres every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and on YouTube. If you would like to be a guest, we consider to be a guest on the show, you can send us an email at OfficiallyUnofficialtv@gmail.com. Also, we have a Buy Me a Coffee where we get support from our viewers. If you would like, you can visit us at buymeacoffee.com/Ana Gil and show your support. Now, Julie, let's talk about another question that we got. What is, wait a second. Okay, so what is the origin of the flying broom?
Okay, so long, long ago, and we did talk a little bit about this, but it's essentially, it was the applicator of flying ointment. So it was essentially a sort of, I want to say hallucinogen. It's a substance that they would put on the broom and they would ride it naked in order to have the substance go into their body as quick as possible. So they put it in a very sensitive area.
Oh, wait, okay, but truly, there's no flying. There's like, I just like, this might be like, oh, come
That's
on,
correct.
Anna. There's no flying. Okay, so they would go around naked and do their poison things so that it makes sense, because then it can, go through the whole body.
Yeah.
And just go, okay, so there it is. Witches sound like so much fun, though. Like, you know what? Let's go out.
Like, maybe talk about that, people. Come on.
Like, let's go out and just do this portion. Okay, so then they would have, so the brooms, you mentioned that now it's used for like making noises, right?
Yes, now we use them as almost like a staff, like a wand sort of thing. We use them in ritual a lot. We will have them at the witches' ball on Saturday. So I'm so excited. It's so ridiculous.
That sounds great. I mean, just the mere, how, dressing up in the 1920s and being at the Landmark Theater, and perhaps for those curious who might want to see a ghost, that might be something that's really great,
yes.
Right?
I think it's a great experience for people that aren't witches, just so they can be around it and see what we do. And I'm so excited to dress up and go to the Landmark. I have a dress that was decently priced, and it's actually a Latin dance competition dress. So it's beautiful. It's so gorgeous. I did not fall asleep. I did not fall. It's like the Grammys. You have to dress. I feel like I have to. It has to be perfect for the first one,
Of
and
course.
we actually are going to have a red carpet outside. So.
Oh my gosh! Wait, okay. So how, for those who are watching it and are interested in perhaps checking it out, that's on the website that we just showed, this one right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And if you click buy tickets, that will take you to the Ticketmaster website where you can purchase your tickets.
Okay.
And you can also go on the landmarktheater.org, I believe it is, and it's on their calendar of events. So you could like read the description and everything like that on there. Okay. Or you can find us on Facebook. It's totally all over Facebook.
Oh, I can't wait to see your dress. I cannot wait to see your dress. So speaking of all these happenings and great things, you have a free reading for a lucky winner on the audience, right?
Yes,
so
we can do that.
Whomever wants to get a private free reading, you can just, raise your hand on the comments, just whether you are watching the replay. Actually, no, we're going to choose it here, right?
What, right now?
Right. Are we choosing the winner here, or are we choosing it after and then announcing the winner in the comments?
Oh, that's up to you.
Okay, so let's choose the winner here, because that way we don't have to follow up afterwards. So whomever wants to be considered, right, entered to get a free private reading with Juelz, just do the emoji, the raise hand emoji in the comments, and then we will announce the winner at the end of the show. So, and then Juelz, like last year, you had a cauldron, a little tiny cauldron with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's right. I picked the names. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. So everyone, if you want, just raise your hand. If you want to dare and get a reading. Okay, here we go. So we have Renee. Oh, Renee, thank you so much. Thank you. She mentioned that she likes my energy. Thank you so much, Renee. And then so Renee also, she's hands up. Okay.
Yep.
We're going here with takers. We will leave you guys. Okay, so what, another question was, is it true that salt scares evil spirits away?
Salt is something that we do use for protection and cleansing. I wouldn't say it's a foolproof plan, but I would say you could definitely use that in some workings against evil. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so like just use it
You
like
can
on the
put it,
TV.
you can put it like outside your door, like in windowsills if you want to. Depends on how much protection you need, I would assume, but or in where specifically you need it in as well. But you can
Okay.
even, yeah, just line your house with it. You can, that's totally fine. It'll hopefully keep away ants too. You never know.
Okay, we have some takers. We have Ashley, we have Hope, we have Paul. Okay, we have Paul, we have Hope, we have Ashley. Okay, we have Renee. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. You guys just raise your hand. Okay, we're gonna stop it pretty soon. So okay, so you just get salt and how actually, Jules, how do you use, you said you use salt. How do you use it when you're doing your rituals? Is it for the same
When
purpose?
I do different things for protection. For salt, I use it for cleansing a lot of the time. Like when I was talking about the full moon and putting the crystals that can go into water in spring water with some sea salt. Sea salt is my preferred choice, but you can use either one. But sea salt, I put that in the crystals to cleanse them. It is a great cleansing. And even if you want to do like a cleansing bath, you can just put salt in the bath, and hopefully be cleansed of any negativity.
Okay. And that's something that we say. They say go to the ocean to clear, because it's salty and
Yeah.
to shake anything that's on you. All these things that are out there, just like you said, everybody's a witch. Nobody wants to admit it. You
Yes.
know?
You don't want to be burned at the stake. That's why.
Listen, there was a comment, I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, about another witch that could trace her ancestry all the way back to the first person who got hung for
Yeah.
witchery. That's just
Yeah. In my family, we were traced back to Ann Putnam from the Salem witch trials. So, I
oh
mean,
man.
it's a horrible history, but hopefully we've come to a point where we can get rid of all the stigma. That's what I'm here to do. That's like part of my mission, is to make it so people don't have to hide it from their families. Otherwise, they're going to get ridiculed and told that they're not going to heaven. It sucks.
That's my
It sucks.
favorite. you
Yeah,
know?
and as witches, we get it a lot. We get told that we don't belong, that there's no place for us here, just because we believe in using nature. Whatever.
Right. Oh, and she's here, the person who can get traced. So Debbie, hi Debbie, thanks for being here. So
Oh,
she's
good.
here. Yeah. So she's the one who said that she could be traced, and she was asking if
Yeah.
you could trace your heritage back there. So yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. So okay, so let's get one last question before we draw, right? Because we're almost at the end of the show. There's my kid gets a lot of nightmares. Is there something that you will suggest for nightmares, to scare
It,
nightmares away?
it Right. It kind of goes along with the whole Dreamwork thing. And like, I like the dream pillows where you essentially you can take any kind of fabric and stuff it with good stuff. Lavender is a great thing for helping to sleep. Even amethyst crystals you can put in the room, any kind of stuff like that. You can also make like a spray that you spray around your house using different ingredients like lavender. You can even put like a chunk of amethyst in the bottle that you're spritzing with it. Just stuff that's calming and can keep that. You could even put some sea salt in there for protection, and just spray it around the room before bedtime. Try that.
And there's all these great things. It's like it's just so natural. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Okay, so Jules, how do you want to do this? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 takers on the.
4.
Let
Okay.
me see.
So
Let me see if
how about
if it's
this?
right. Wait, I have Renee. So Renee, I have Paul. That's 2. I have Hope. That's 3. And then I have Ashley, and that's 4. Okay, we have 4. Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to have them pick a number between 1 and 10, and whoever's closest gets it?
Okay, so you're gonna think of the number.
Yes.
I'm not good. Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna put you on so that you can go on and tell the rules for them. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to have you 4 people guess a number between 1 and 10, and whoever gets closest to that number will win the tarot reading. Should I write down the number so no one thinks I'm lying?
Yes, like a magician.
Ooh, dropping stuff. Exactly. Let's see. Let's see.
Yes, let's
Okay.
do this.
Oop, I'm shaking my camera. Sorry. Okay, I got my number.
I love it. Okay, we got the number. Okay, everybody, go for it. I should have some music right now. I should have some witchy music. I actually did on the opening screen, which this is my
Yes, that
favorite,
was
right?
awesome.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna actually add it to Instagram because it's like, I love this episode. It's like so fun to do.
It is. I'm so glad you think so. I will come back every October.
Yes, that's awesome. That's great. It'll be part 3.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
All right. So, Jules, can you see the comments right now?
I
Can you see
cannot.
the comments? Okay. So I'm going to say, here we go. We got Paul with 6. We have Renee with 3. We have Hope with 7. And we have Ashley with Ashley, you did okay. So I'm gonna say Ashley with 4.
Okay, the winner is Renee. My number was 2.
All right, Renee. Woohoo!
Which is kind of funny because she's going to be here tonight for a workshop. So.
Oh, look at that, Renee. That's a great thing of like it's showing up for lives, you know.
Right.
So Renee, that's how she contacts you because she's gonna see you tonight.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So if anyone of the members who actually enter the contest would like to get a private reading also with you, how do they contact you?
They can contact me at juliescauldron@gmail.com, or you can find me on pretty much any social media platform and just write me a message and inquire about the readings. And I do in person or online. I have pretty much 100% success rate as far as what my cards deliver to people. So it's very exciting. I love doing
Ooh.
readings.
I like it. Okay. So when you say 100%, like almost 100% success rate, it's like the reading that you get and what you tell them, I guess the reading is accurate for them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And because the way that I do my readings, you know, I feel like people can ask questions all day, but at the same time, the cards really want to tell you what you need to know. Personally, my cards tell people what they need to know in order to grow to the next level that they need to go to. So it's like a kind of like a deep inner soul reading that I do. And I actually incorporate in my 6-card reading, I do 4 different tarot decks. So it's everywhere. I love it. It's so much fun.
Okay. So there you go.
And the only one person that didn't like their reading, it was because it delivered a message about someone being a liar to them. And nobody likes that as a reading. Especially when, you're pregnant.
No. Right. It's just like going to the doctor and getting bad news. I mean, you're like...
She did not look happy, but whatever. Everybody else was like crying. I have done a lot of readings, and they've always... they are pleasantly surprised at what they come up with. It's amazing.
That's awesome. That's great. I mean, like for me, I would just love to have someone who would be the medium between, for my dad. I would like to just see what he's doing. Like I have so many questions for him. I'm gonna like, okay, so where are you? You like, where you? I don't know. I just want to ask questions to see what it is like where he's at.
We have a few mediums in Central New York. My favorite one personally, her name is Michelle Love, and she works out of Healing Inspirations. You can find her on Facebook or just call Healing Inspirations. She does personal medium readings or tarot readings. Her medium readings, I'm sure her tarot readings too, but I always go to her for the mediumship. They're spot on. She's definitely, she has an amazing talent. And then the other person that has actually won part of like the Syracuse Best things that we do, her name is Angela Richardson. She is definitely a great medium for the area too. So we do have some cool, awesome people locally.
That's great to know. Okay, thank you. That's great to know. If you can write it down in the comments, because I would love to have her on the show. Actually, I would like to have it because I would like to.
I think I referred you to Michelle Love at one point for the.
Was it the astrology?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I will contact her again and see if we can, because that would be great. I'm interested in all the, all the good stuff, and I'm pretty sure other people might want to also have contacts. But it's like it's so scary, right? If we don't know, we don't know. So it's great to get a referral from someone who is well versed on all of that, like Juelz. So you guys, oh my gosh, Juelz is being so great. Thank you so much again for being here with us, and thank you guys for being here again. We Officially Unofficial TV premieres every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and on YouTube. If you would like to be a guest on the show, you can send us an email at OfficiallyUnofficialtv@gmail.com for consideration. Any questions that you have for Julie, you can contact her, Julie,
at juliescauldron@gmail.com.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you next Thursday. Bye.
Bye.